Hi, everyone. Welcome to our group coaching call. So excited to see everyone here live, or if you're catching the replay, great to see you. We hope you're having a good week. So we're going to kick off this call with some introductions. We'd love to hear where you're from and how long you've been working with us with Faster Way, and also just something interesting and fun about you. So I'll get started. I'll start first, and then we'll have Stephanie go next, and then Tiffany, and then Bobby. Okay, so I'm Shannon. I'm from Utah, and I've been doing Faster Way for just over a year. Started at the end of October last year. And something interesting is I love going snow skiing in all different states with my husband and our three daughters. Yeah, we love snow skiing. So, okay, Stephanie, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I just figured out how to unmute. I'm at work, so this will be fast. My name is Stephanie. I've been with the group since last January. And something interesting about myself is I have hosted 9 exchange students.
That's so awesome. Well, welcome. All right, Tiffany, are you able to unmute?
Does that work?
Yep, that's great. Yeah, it's okay
Okay.
if you're
Sorry, I can't get my video on. I don't know how to do this on my phone. I'm usually
oh,
on a computer, but I
oh, no problem.
still got work guys at my house. So let's see. What was I supposed to say? Something interesting about me? I've been doing I joined with Shannon in April, the end of April. Um, and something interesting about me? I
Yep,
feel like I'm not interesting anymore, but
you are.
um I don't know. I have 4 kids that have all grown up, and that's kind of weird. So I'm in this like transition phase where they're all getting ready to leave, and my son just got home from his mission, and we just went on a fun trip to Puerto Rico that we just got back from. So it's hard to be back in the cold, snowy Utah after that.
Yeah, your trip looked amazing. Those pictures. I know I showed them to our daughter. She's like, we need to go there.
And I'd never even thought about Puerto Rico before, but it was pretty.
That's so awesome. We're glad you're here, Tiffany.
Thanks.
Sure. All right, let's have Bobby introduce yourself, and then we'll go Alicia, Caroline, and I know Erica can't talk, but let's go Bobby. Go ahead.
I'm from Minnesota and I've been with Fastaway just about a month. And something interesting about me is I run a beef farm with my husband and my in-laws.
And you put a lot of work in with your bee farm.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. It's great to see you. Awesome. Okay, let's go to Alicia. Are you able to unmute? Looks like you're on a walk. Hi, Brenda. Great to see you. Welcome. We're just doing some introductions.
Oh, hi everybody from Minnesota, where it's cold today.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, welcome. We're going to hear from Alicia. She's going to introduce herself, and we'll go around and introduce everyone.
Okay.
I'm Alicia. I've been with Fastaway since April. Something interesting about me. I play the organ in church. I kind of play the organ in church.
Oh, I didn't know
Um,
that.
yeah, it's a new thing since February, and I can't reach the bottom pedals because I'm short. So it's a little sound the same. It would be a lot better if I could reach the pedals, but the organ was built for a man. So that's something interesting.
That's awesome. I didn't know that, Alicia. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Awesome. Let's go to Caroline. Are you able to share your intro?
Yeah, sure. I'm Caroline. I live in South Jordan, Utah. Joined the program about a month ago, I guess, beginning of November. And Shannon and I know each other from Girl Scouts, and we were in a mom club together many years ago and reconnected. And so now I'm part of the group and really enjoying it. Something interesting about me, I work in local media. I used to be on the radio. Um, I love music and I love dance. And you probably can, oh no, you can't see my background. Never mind. I have all my guitars in my background. I'm digging them out because I'm getting my son into it too. So that's the latest thing that I'm into.
That's so
My
cool.
kids are into music. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, because the husband's not at all. Totally not musical.
Yes, share it with your kids. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Caroline. Great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Hope you feel better.
Oh, thank you. I'm starting
Sure.
to feel better today. Yeah, it's been a rough week, but thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go to Tina. Are you able to introduce yourself?
I think I'm unmuted. Yeah. Okay. I'm Tina. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah also, and I joined Faster Way beginning of October. And yeah, I've loved the program. It's been really good. It's helped me stay much more consistent, even when kind of those up and down times. So I'm really grateful for that. I have 5 kids. I work as a life coach. And I guess something about me, I just finished my first half marathon trail race this past October. So I've done a lot of racing and endurance sporting, but I've had on my mind the last couple of years to try out a trail race, and so that was fun to put that off my bucket list.
That's awesome, Tina. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, Brenda, can you introduce yourself?
Oh, hi, I'm Brenda from northern Minnesota, and I have known Shannon for quite a while from different programs. But I started Faster Way in January, and I at 40 pounds. I went back to 37, but I'm at 39 again. Hoping to get a little bit more off before I go back to Mexico in February. And gosh, I like the program, and I don't exercise as much as I should when I first started, but hopefully I can get myself back in the groove of doing that just because we were so busy this summer. But yay, everybody.
Yay, great to see you, Brenda.
Yeah.
And yeah, 40-pound weight loss is incredible. I know that was your big motivation going to Mexico last year, so that's good you're going again.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, welcome. Let's see, Kristen, welcome. Are you able to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen. I live in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I've known Shannon for a while, also through various programs. And I joined Faster Way in June, and I haven't really lost much weight. I've only lost like 3 pounds, but all my clothes fit better. And the other day, I just noticed I have so much more muscle and definition than what I've had in a really long time. And it's so encouraging and I'm so excited. Thank you. Fun fact about me, I just got married for the third time. But third time's the charm, back in April. And I don't have kids, but my husband has 3 daughters and they're fabulous. And thanks to his eldest, I'm going to end up being a grandmother in March.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
wonderful.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, welcome, Kristen. That's awesome. And Erica is at a dentist appointment with her daughter. So she put her intro in the chat. She said she is from Oregon and she has 5 kids and they are all super busy. And so she's on a month. She's been with Faster Way for a month and she's lost 8 pounds. So that's so amazing. So welcome, Erica. You're doing amazing. Well, so excited to see everyone here. I'm glad you could make it. And today we're going to talk about ways to get our macros in even when we're busy. So I put together some slides. I think only one of you may have seen these before, but it may be new or it may be repeat info, but I think it's always good to have a refresh. So, okay, can you see my screen? Let's see, I'm going to go to this. Okay, can you see a slide that has a green banner?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm going to open it up. There we go. Okay, can you see it even better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Great. So how to reach your macros even when you're busy. So here's 10 different tips. So grab a notebook if you don't have one already and a pen. Tip number one is do your thoughts match your goals? So Tina and I went through the same life coach program, and this is something that I've implemented into our nutrition and fitness coaching because I used to focus on the actions more than the thoughts, but the thoughts actually affect our actions. And so thinking of do your thoughts reach your goals? Our thoughts are so powerful if we think, oh, I'm too busy, I can't do this, or, this isn't going to work, or, just anything, a thought that doesn't match our goals, then that will pull us away from our goals. So start with your thoughts. Are you thinking things that support your goals or pull you away from them? And so I encourage you to think about that throughout all these slides that we're going to go through, because that's really the baseline. None of the actions will work unless our thoughts are in the right place. And so another thing I want you to think about is the word and. So a lot of times we think of the word or, we think I can be healthy or I can stay on track during the holidays. I can eat healthy or I can, enjoy being with my family and friends. But it can be and. It can be I can stay on track with my goals and I can enjoy the holidays. It's not about being perfect, but it's finding that and it doesn't have to be an all or nothing either way. So just thinking about our thoughts. Tip number two is going into the actions, shopping your pantry and fridge first. So keeping it simple. You don't have to go and buy all new ingredients. Shop in your pantry and fridge first to find out what you have already. And then you go and buy things to fill in the gaps. This is really helpful because then it will save you time and money, and you won't feel like you have to make all of these new ingredients or all these new recipes with new ingredients, but you can start in your fridge and your pantry. Okay, tip number three is plan your meals each week. I know this sounds like so simple, but setting that time aside, I know when I don't do this versus when I do, I just feel off for the week because I'm like scrambling. So setting a time aside once a week to plan your meals with the people that you live with. And I think this is really important too, because especially if you have children or grandchildren, and you're trying to get your family to eat healthy as well, you don't have to make separate meals. Include your family in your meal planning. I love doing this. Like we pull out recipes and ideas on the weekend together, and then we talk about the meals that we're going to make. And then so we have two teenagers now, and even they're helping us make the meals because they want to learn how to cook. And so the more we involve the people that we live with, the more likely they will be on the same plan with us. And then we can make meals that everyone enjoys. But the more we plan, the easier it gets. And you'll be able to do this more long term. Okay, tip number four is adding your food to the app before you eat. This is something that my coach told me, and I thought this was really helpful because I used to like log my food after I ate, and then I would find there was lots of gaps. And so when you add your food to the app before you eat, I know some of you even add you can add all the meals for the week to your app and then kind of fill in the gaps, and that's really helpful. But just knowing ahead of time, like where you're at with your macros when you're adding it to the app. So be intentional with the food that you eat, add it to your app before, and then you eat it and make sure you're within your macro, your range. Okay, tip number 5 is plan for those low macro days. I know for me, when I first started, those were kind of like, whoa, like those Monday and Tuesdays. Um, I was like, how am I going to get that much fat? Like, how am I going to keep my carbs down that low? So following the meal plan that they give us, that's so helpful. But especially adding eggs, avocado, nuts, and seeds on Monday and Tuesday. That's a really great way to stay on track with your low macros. Also on Monday and Tuesday, like really avoiding fruits, because fruits have a lot of carbs. And I know when I first talked to Brenda about bananas, we were both surprised. We were like, oh my goodness, like there's so many carbs in bananas. Um,
Right?
and those are okay, but on Monday and Tuesday, probably avoid,
Yeah,
bananas or
they're not good on Monday, Tuesday.
yeah. There you go, take it out Monday and Tuesday. That's funny. So yeah, so planning for those low macro days, and then it's really cool because the low macro days are paired with the cardio workouts, and so they're really it's a good plan to really burn fat. So when we have the low carb day, high fat with the cardio, like it all works together on burning fat. Okay, tip number 6 is using those macro cheat sheets. These are easy to forget that we have, but so if you go to your app in the clipboard section, there are macro cheat sheets. So you go to the clipboard section and you scroll up a little bit, and then you'll see the macro cheat sheets. And let me know if you don't see them, but you can pick foods off of those cheat sheets that you can create a whole, you can use individual foods, or you can add them to recipes. But they're really helpful, like especially if you're like, oh, I am so low on fiber, or I am low on, any of the macros, then you can just pick different foods on the cheat sheets, and then that will help you balance out your macros. So tip number 7 is prepping food ahead of time. I love doing this. So preparing like chicken or meat ahead of time. Like a lot of times we grill meat on the weekend. You can chop veggies ahead of time, freezing like chili or sauce, making extra for dinner so you can eat it for lunch. But this saves a lot of time instead of, like I say, just really taking out the guesswork. I guess that's the underlying idea here, is taking out the planning in your head at the moment. Like just have it in your plan for the week, like ahead of time. And so preparing ahead, that makes a big difference. Tip number 8 is progress over perfection. So focusing on doing better than you did the day before. It's not going to be perfect. And especially during the holidays, we have a lot going on with our work and school and kids and life. And so being kind to ourselves, focusing on progress, like thinking like, did I do better than last year? Did I do better than last week? Did I do better than I did before? And even if it's just a little bit better, then that's progress, and we want to celebrate that progress. Okay, tip number 9 is keep your macro emergency foods on hand. I think this is really important because if your pantry and fridge are filled with like junk foods and you're feeling really hungry, then you will just grab those junk foods, right? Like it's easy to grab like chips or snacks or, things with sugars in it. But if you have like those macro emergency foods on hand, that are macro, friendly, then when you're feeling hungry, then you can grab one of those foods. So thinking of like, I love like the crunchy edamame. Those are like, it's a great snack with lots of protein and fiber. Nuts are good. Veggies, or you have fruits, like you have things cut up. This is also great for our kids. Like that we can give them healthy options because I know my kids like would love the unhealthy options. So like giving them more healthier options. Okay, tip number 10, our last tip is plan your day around going out to eat. Okay, so this is really important because you don't want to, like, especially during the holidays, like there's going to be parties, there's going to be going out to eat, there's going to be times when you're like, okay, I'm not going to be perfect here. But plan your day around it. So if you know you're going to go out to lunch or you're going to go out to dinner, then really enjoy the food. Like enjoy the fries, enjoy the burgers, input the food that you have. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't like splurge on the carbs on the low carb day, but you can also move the low carb days. I don't know if you all know that, that you can move those low carb days. So you can plan ahead in the app and let me know if you need help with this, but I love this feature that you can move a low carb day. Like, let's say you have a party on Monday and you're like, well, I'm going to enjoy the party. So you just move the low carb day to Wednesday or another day so that you can enjoy that party and then stay on track with your carbs on the lower carb day later. Um, and so, but planning your day around your parties or going out to eat where you can still, like, for example, like I would eat maybe a smaller breakfast or a smaller lunch if I'm having a big dinner at night. So you can just work around that so you can still enjoy it, but not feel like you know, not feel like you're blowing your meal plan. Okay, so those are my 10 tips. I'm going to stop sharing. I hope those were helpful. Does anyone have any questions or things to add?
I can, and I guess I like the tip, that you said about adding in your food before you're eating it. And, for months, I did not do that. But I've been doing that now. And boy, does that make a difference. Because if, I put something in that I would like to have and then realize that there is way too much of, whether it's carbs or, whatever, then I just remove it and find something else. So that is really helpful to me to be able to do that.
Yeah, I love that. It's great. Yeah, you can input it. I've done that too. Like you input it and you're like, oh, this is going to put me way over. So then take it off and find
Yeah.
something else.
Right, yeah. And I love the barcode thing. It's great.
Yeah, that's so helpful. Just scanning.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. I love that. And just looking in the comments. So yeah, avocados are great for Monday and Tuesday. And yeah, I feel you, Kristen, the no fruit on Monday and Tuesday. That is hard, but you could have something like berries. So that's the other thing on Monday and Tuesday is it's net carbs. And so when we have more fiber, then it takes away the carbs. So that's really awesome. So then you could add like something with more fiber. So that's an idea too. Like something that has less carbs and more fiber, but it's a fruit. That's an idea. Okay, awesome. Does anyone else have any other comments or thoughts on like things that have helped you when you're really busy to try to stay on track?
I,
Just
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, Tina, go.
I was just gonna say, just making meals ahead of time is always, and then simplifying your meal plan too, right? Like, so maybe on a busy week, I don't prepare so many different meals. Maybe I eat more of the same, like, carryover dinners for lunch the next day or something like that, just so it stays really easy and having things, prepared ahead of time. I think you don't have to really make the decision. You just do it.
Yeah,
And I think that's much better when you have a lot going on and there already are enough decisions to make.
absolutely. Yeah, I love that tip. Thanks, Tina. Yeah, especially with a lot going on. Yeah, great tips. Anyone else have anything to share? Okay, okay, great. Well, I just wanted to end with two questions. So, question number one, and you can put it in the chat box, or you could raise your hand if you're not able to put it in the chat box. But I want to hear the successes of the week. So we want to celebrate the successes of the week. So anything that went well, we want to celebrate. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and post in the chat box or raise your hand if you want to. You can say it. That's totally good too. So yeah, I'm gonna celebrate getting my workouts in when we were out of town. So there was an awesome gym, and that was so fun getting the workouts in. So that was a huge success. Anyone else?
I put one in the group today, but it really was a fun one to just really increase my weights today on especially like my overhead press.
Yeah, that's a
That
huge
just
success.
it was a long time like that I was just like, there's just a couple exercises where it seems really hard to make progress in your weights. Like flies are another one for me. I was like, eights are always going to be what it is for me. So it was really fun to just um I liked the progression and on some of the lower rep ones, it's like, okay, I felt like I should push myself and just see what's possible. And that was really fun. So
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome, Tina. I know it's crazy how our minds like trick us into like this is how much we can do, and then you realize, oh, I could go a little higher. So that's awesome. Awesome. Okay, we also have one from, okay. Oh wait, so I need to scroll up a little bit. Okay, I think this is from Bobby. I was able to walk today and my ankle didn't bother me after a couple of weeks of hurting. Yay! Bobby, that's huge. That's a huge success. I'm so happy to hear that. So Kristen said seeing more muscle definition. That's awesome. Tiffany said worked out in a whole hotel gym and lots of walks and steps on her vacation. She got her workouts in and her walks done this week, even though her schedule is way off and she's having to do them later. That's awesome. You still got them in. So, so cool. I love celebrating the successes. This is so great. Okay. Well, if you have any other successes, we'd love to hear it. And if you're watching the replay, we'd love to hear them in the group. I think it's so important to celebrate the successes. It's easy to focus on what's not working, but focus on what is working, and we'll keep seeing more success and we'll keep feeling more motivated. Okay, so the last question before we wrap it up is just any obstacles that you can see coming up this week that you want to bring up, like any obstacles, and then we can talk about a solution. So like an obstacle could be like you have a party coming up. Oh, Kristen, were you gonna raise your hand?
Well, I guess it was an obstacle, but I overcame it. I just wanted to share what I did.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
I don't know what happened, but I woke up on Sunday morning and my foot was hurting so bad. Like it hurt to bend it at all.
Hmm.
And I thought I would be fine. And the next day it was hurting so bad. I was concerned about doing the HIIT workout. So instead of saying, I just won't work out today, I did the full body workout. And then my foot felt better the next day. So I was able to resume with HIIT. And then today I did, my foot's still hurting a little bit, but I did Monday's HIIT workout today,
Yeah.
since I had already done full body. And I just did the modified. So I wasn't jumping as much. But I
Yay.
usually would have just said, oh, I don't feel good. So I'm not going to do it.
That's so awesome. Congratulations, Kristen. I
Thank you.
love that you saw the obstacle and then you're like, how can I overcome this? And you did that. That's so great. Hope your foot feels better.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for sharing. Love this. Anyone else want to share any obstacles they want to help overcome, or maybe you have overcome it already?
I'll just put one out there because I think it's always good to just say it out loud because then it helps me to stay accountable. But I do some work a couple nights a week at an event center. So obviously there's lots of food and people are very generous to want to share their food with you. So that's always can be challenging, especially since it's usually evening and I already really not only have mapped out my day, but have eaten most of what I was planning to eat for the day too. So So it's always tricky because you don't want to hurt people's feelings yet. A lot of times I just don't really want to eat their food. I just want to do what my plan is. So I'm trying out a couple of answers, but one that I'm going to start trying this week is just to let people know that I'm just, that I have a very specific diet that I follow, and so I manage that very closely. And thank you, but no thank you. So I'm going to see how that goes. So
Yeah, that's a good plan. I know that that's hard when it's like a part of your job and like a regular part of your life. Like
yeah.
it was like once in a while, but if it's like a regular thing, that's hard.
Yes, and lots of December events are obviously parties and food and all of that good stuff. So
Yeah.
it'll be good to it always I always just remind myself like how I want to feel in the morning, right? Kind of using that mindset that you talked about, because I really do feel so good when I really follow my plan, when I stop eating earlier, when I get a little bit longer fast days, and so that's really good. So I just remember all of those things and put them all in play.
Yeah, thanks, Tina. I love that. Great mindset. Awesome. Does anyone else have anything they want to add before we wrap up? Okay, well, this has been a great call. We'll do another one in 2 weeks like this at the same time, the evening and the day one. So, oh, I forgot to take a picture last night. Would you mind if you can put your camera on? We'd love to see you to take a picture. Okay, there we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks good. Great to see all of you. You're doing amazing. Keep up the great work, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.